presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Arizona.
We're back on a Friday night at Chase Field. Following a day off yesterday, the D-backs tonight continue this homestand. It's the opener, a three-game visit from the San Francisco Giants. A chance to pick up some ground on the NL West leaders. We're set for D-backs baseball from Chase Field on Fox Sports Arizona. Good evening from Chase Field and welcome to the broadcast. Steve Berthume, Tom Candiotti along the way. Bob Brenly has the night off tonight. It's the D-backs and the Giants at it again this weekend. And Candy, the Diamondbacks tonight face one of the best pitchers in baseball, the Giants' Johnny Cueto.
Boy, Johnny Cueto has just been outstanding for the Giants. In fact, besides his 11-1 record, he hasn't even lost on the road this year. He's 7-0. This guy is getting it done. He's got tremendous control. He's only given up 4 home runs and 115 in the third innings pitch. So doesn't walk guys, doesn't give up the long ball.
He beat the Diamondbacks the last time he faced them, May 12th, but that one loss for Cueto this year came against the Diamondbacks April 21st at AT&T Park. You might not recognize the Giants starting lineup tonight, Candy. All of these Giants, all key guys, are injured.
You know, it's just amazing what Bruce Bochy does with this organization. It seems year after year they lose guys and they have other guys that just step up and they do the job. And that's what he's asking these guys to do right now. Panik is a big guy. Duffy's a big guy. Pence is a big guy. But they always seem to be able to overcome these problems. And these guys going on the DL, guys step up for the Giants.
They're even losing backups, guys like Adrianza and Tomlinson. So maybe Shelby Miller catches a break with the lineup he faces today.
Yeah, let's hope so. You know, Shelby has only walked one guy in both of his last starts. As long as he keeps himself in pitchers' counts, and more than anything, Shelby needs to pitch better with runners in scoring position. He has struggled in those situations. If he does a good job there, it's a nice lineup to face right now.
We're looking forward to this one tonight. Shelby Miller and Johnny Cueto, the Diamondbacks and the Giants. First pitch coming up from Chase Field on Fox Sports Arizona. Diamondbacks baseball on Fox Sports Arizona is brought to you by CenturyLink. Switch to CenturyLink Prism TV for an advanced TV experience. Learn more at cprismtv.com. By Jack in the Box. Taste the all-new Double Jack Burger today, only at Jack in the Box. And by your Valley Honda dealers, where you get more standard features for less money. Baseball on Fox Sports Arizona is brought to you by Lone Butte Casino. Get in on big wins. By Chaz Roberts Air Conditioning and Plumbing. Choose Chaz. By Tire Pros. For the best selection of Continental and General brand tires, visit your local Arizona Tire Pros today. And by Mike's Hard Lemonade. Flavor starts here. Please drink responsibly. We are getting set for first pitch. Shelby Miller for the Diamondbacks. Johnny Cueto for the Giants. First of 3 on All-American Weekend. First pitch from Chase coming up next. We are set for National League West baseball in downtown Phoenix, Arizona. Welcome inside Chase Field. Steve Berthiaume, Tom Candiotti, Jody Jackson with you. The D-backs and the Giants, Bruce Bochy's ball club, coming off a 4-game home and home in their Bay Area battle against the Oakland A's. Giants lost the first 3. They salvaged the finale last night. Candy, their lineup tonight, some unfamiliar names in there.
Oh, there really is. When you look at this, Blanco at the very top, followed by Pagan, Belt. Where's Posey? I don't know. Crawford's in there, Parker, Gillespie, Green, Brown, Cueto. Who are these guys? But somehow, some way, they seem to always find a way to scratch out some runs.
Yeah, Buster Posey getting the night off. Joe Panik, Matt Duffy, and Hunter Pence all on the DL for San Francisco. Your Arizona Ford starting pitcher for the Diamondbacks is Shelby Miller. 2-7, the ERA near 7. Tonight, his 3rd start since those minor league rehab outings with Class A Visalia. He looked great at Philadelphia when he returned, but he struggled last Saturday against the Rockies at Coors Field.
Yeah, his control has gotten a lot better. He's only walked 1 guy in both of his last starts. But the one thing about Shelby that's going to help him win some games is pitch more effectively in situations. With his runners in scoring position this year, a .333 average with 7 home runs, 11 extra base hits. That's an awful lot, so he needs to improve in those situations.
Our eye on defense for the D-backs is brought to you by Nationwide Vision Centers.
How about Chris Herman tonight playing out in left field? That's going to be fun to watch. Bourne in center, Yasmani Tomas out in right. Chris Herman, a very good defender everywhere you put him. In the infield, you got Jake Lamb, Nick Ahmed, Segura at second base, Goldie at first base, and behind the plate, Wellington Castillo.
Behind the plate for the umpires, it's the crew chief, Bill Miller. Tonight, he'll have the balls and strikes. Brian Knight at first base, Tony Randazzo at second, and Todd Tishner at third. Denard Span was originally in the starting lineup as the leadoff man for the Giants, but he had some neck stiffness, so he was a late scratch. Gregor Blanco will lead it off against Shelby Miller, the first of 3, the D-backs and the Giants.
Well, this way, Bruce Bochy stacked us. The first 6 guys, left-handed hitters against Shelby.
How big an advantage is that?
Well, the lefties are hitting .328 against them this year with 7 home runs, a .990 OPS. So I think Bruce Bochy's trying to jump him a little bit.
And you've got Blanco who bats from the left side. Pagan, a switch hitter on deck after that. Belt, Crawford, Parker, all lefties.
I think the key for Shelby, really get through this first inning, but do it effectively, do it efficiently. A lot of times, in order to win games for a starting pitcher, is early inning effectiveness is really key.
How big an advantage is it when you have a chance to settle in and find a rhythm and a tempo out there? Get comfortable early.
Yeah, if you can, the earlier you can do that, the better off it is. You don't want to leave your defenders out there watching you work behind in the count. He needs to keep himself even or ahead in the counts and try to keep that ball on the ground. You know, get the guys involved early on.
That's on the ground, but it squirts through into left field. A leadoff single for Gregor Blanco. That snaps an 0 for 13 for Blanco.
Blanco a little bit inside out swing that time, and big hole on the left side of the infield, and just kind of squirted that ball right through. Fastball coming, looks like it's coming inside, but see how he stays inside the ball, shoots it the other way, and an easy ground ball, but it turns into a base hit.
Angel Pagan will start in left field tonight. 303 homers.
Shelby's given up 6 stolen bases out of 8 attempts this year. Last year they ran on him quite a bit, and I think Bochy, with given some of the firepower not in the lineup, they might try to get that short game, that little game going.
This is driven to center field. Michael Bourne runs it down. Pagan jumps on the first pitch, flies out to center.
Yeah, he wasn't waiting around that time. Nice little jump by Michael Bourne also on that ball. He comes in, kind of goes over to his left, catches the ball on the run, and that's a nice out to get.
The dangerous Brandon Belt hitting .300. He leads the Giants with 10 home runs, really driving the ball hard lately. He drove in 4 runs in their win at Oakland last night.
You know, the Giants have been waiting for this guy for the last, seems 2 or 3 years to really take off. It looks like now he's taken off. He has become a potent bat in this lineup.
Well, they invested in Brandon Belt with a long-term contract. Blanco takes off. The throw is in time. Wellington Castillo throws out Gregor Blanco, with Blanco not going anywhere for the moment.
I thought it was a nice play by Jake Lamb, who had coverage on this. Pretty good throw by Castillo. Very close, little high tag. He might have got underneath this.
Oh yeah, the foot hit the back of the bag, so Tony Randazzo, the second base umpire, may have been screened there.
You know, the one thing he did do is he came off the bag, and it looked like Jake might have kept that tag applied throughout the slide. So important these days to keep that tag on the base runner.
And this is not a play that Jake Lamb makes a lot.
No,
with the
not
shift
at all.
on there.
You're exactly right. He's got coverage there. Throw about shoulder high. He gets the glove down, but see how he keeps it on him? You got to do that.
No challenge from the Giants, so Blanco will head back to the dugout. And 2 down, an 0-1 count on Brandon Belt.
Well, nice execution by the Diamondbacks that time, and a good throw, quick throw by Castillo, but a great tag by Lamb, keeping that tag on him all the way.
The shift stays on for Belt, and the 0-1 misses. Nick Ahmed all by himself on the left-hand side. Belt not chasing as many pitches outside the strike zone as he has in the past. Much more disciplined hitter up there. In fact, his on-base percentage is over .400, 6th best in the National League.
He used to have a hole, a big hole about hand high inside. That pitch was up there that way, but we have seen him turn on that ball now. Early on, he had a really difficult time with that pitch inside and up.
His one hit against Shelby Miller, a home run.
Doing a great job with right now pounding the strike zone. 8 pitches thrown, 7 strikes. Great pitch there, just missed inside.
That seemed to really tie him up.
You said they're working on him inside. They're going to make him aware inside, maybe before they go outside. Coming
back in. Got him. Shelby Miller, a 10-pitch first. Johnny Cueto coming up. Diamondbacks will get their first look at him. When do we come back? When he starts for them, the lone loss on Cueto's record came in a start against the D-backs in San Francisco. That was back on April 21st.
If you look at those numbers, the one that stands out to me, the home runs. Only 4 home runs given up in 115 and a third innings pitch. Doesn't walk a lot of guys, doesn't give up the long ball.
12 straight starts now without a loss. His ERA over that span, 2.07. Gene Segura leads it off.
Well, one thing about Cueto also is that he will live on the corners. He'll elevate when he wants to elevate, but this guy can work down. He can get ground balls. He can do everything out there.
And we've talked numerous times about his different deliveries. He'll sometimes give you the half Louis Tiant, the full Louis Tiant, and sometimes, Candy, he'll quick pitch.
Yeah, likes the quick pitch at times, trying to be a little deceptive, upset the hitter's timing. Get that fastball up in the zone, maybe get some of the hitters that try to jump on it aren't quite ready for it.
So Segura hitting .311. Gene begins tonight sitting on 99 hits for the year. That is second most in the National League, behind only Washington's Daniel Murphy. A slow turn from Cueto.
I'll tell you, in the first inning, though, Cueto has struggled this year. First inning, 5.63 ERA. Batting average against him in the first inning, .339. So if you're going to get this guy, just like a lot of the good pitchers, first inning is the time you jump on him.
Big difference right there. 1-2 on Gene Segura. There's a quick pitch. Segura takes it out to center field, and that's going to reach the wall. Segura's on the run. He'll stop at second, a leadoff double. His 17th of the year, and Gene's now hit safely in 5 straight.
He went with the quick pitch that time, but it looked like he came in with the changeup. It wasn't a high fastball, and Segura was ready for it, trying to upset his timing. That ball was elevated, it was up in the zone, and he's able to barrel that ball out to left center field.
Just a hanger, Candy, and to Segura's credit, he didn't miss it. You got to take advantage of those opportunities against a guy like this, right?
Ball up in the zone, and we just got done talking about how he has really struggled in the first inning. Diamondbacks with an opportunity.
Got to do better in these situations. Michael Bourne shows a bunt, rolls it foul down the third baseline. Connor Gillespie is down there. 0-1 on Bourne. Tell you what, the way Michael's been hitting the ball lately, just rather see him swing away here.
And the way he's hit Cueto over his career, he's been outstanding against him. 10 for 26, a .385 average. I'd rather see this guy swing right now.
Michael coming off a 4-hit game against the Phillies Wednesday. Had a pair of doubles in that ball game. Goldie on deck. Shows bunt again, pulls back and takes ball 1. Michael Bourne, last 8 games, 11 hits, including 4 doubles and a homer. 385 career against Cueto. It's the bunt down. Cueto has one play and he's got to hurry. Segura in at third, 1 away. The lineup for Chip Hale's Arizona Diamondbacks.
Well, we already saw Segura just drill one out to the left center field gap. Michael Bourne sacrifices lower, followed by Goldie, Lamb, Castillo. Chris Herman hitting after Castillo, along with Yasmani Tomas, Nick Ahmed, and Shelby Miller in the number 9 hole.
Paul Goldschmidt. Segura at third, 1 away.
Situational baseball going on. A double, you move him over. Got to get him in now.
Goldie at 298. He's got 14 home runs.
Goldie likes hitting that ball out over the plate, likes taking it to right center.
Cueto missed inside, a ball and a strike.
He's been outstanding, Goldie has, with runners in scoring position. How about this? His last 27 games, 16 for 39, a .410 batting average. So he is getting it done in these situations.
20 RBIs in his last 22 games.
That's getting it done.
Right there. And showing some patience in those spots as well, which is hard to do. Fights that one off, and he's down 1-2.
He's got decent numbers against Cueto also. He's hitting over 300, 5 for 16. He's got a career home run against him. Infielder, middle infielders playing deep. Conceding the run. Just needs a ground ball up the middle somewhere.
That's down the right field line. A fair ball. Segura will score. Goldie will take the turn and head for second. And he's in there with an RBI double.
Well, 2 things are going on right here. Cueto struggled in the first inning, but also Goldie, the way he's hitting with runners in scoring position. He laces this ball right down the right field line, just inside the line. A great swing by Goldie, staying inside this ball. And he finds pay dirt, and that's a double and a ribby.
His 16th double of the year, and he's in scoring position for Jake Lamb, who's absolutely killing the ball right now. Jake, 288, leads the Diamondbacks, 17 homers and 55 RBIs. And when you saw the OPS right there, 958, much of that is slugging. Jake Lamb right now 3rd in the major leagues and leading the National League with a .592 slugging percentage.
That is impressive. He is just killing the ball right now.
He's homered in each of his last 2 games.
Jake also a little success with Cueto. Limited number of at bats, 6 at bats, but he's got 3 hits against him.
Look at the month of June for Jake Lamb. 9 homers and 27 RBIs in 26 games.
Have a month. We'll get July going like that.
Good take there. And Jake's ahead in the count, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Cueto will mix all his pitches up. He'll throw any pitch at any count. Doesn't matter.
Trying to get Goldie in from second. Carved that one foul, and it's 2-2.
Pretty good cut at that ball. Try to hit that ball the other way. I haven't seen Cueto really rear back. When he first came up, he could bring it. I mean, he could hit in the mid-90s with ease, even a little bit higher than that. But he has really turned into a pitcher now. He'll use all his pitches. He'll mix them all up. He'll command both sides of the strike zone.
Fastball misses up, and it's a full count, 3-2. Wellington Castillo on deck. He's become something of an artist out there, both with the motion and the delivery and the stuff.
Yeah,
he's a real kitchen sink guy.
Any way he feels he can get an advantage, he's taking it right now. Like I said, he has been really good on the road, undefeated. Fastball a little bit down in the zone, but a really good pass of the ball by Lamb.
Candy time now for your Valley Honda dealer. Key to the game.
Well, just have a quick start right now. Jump on him early in the game, as the Diamondbacks are doing.
The quick pitch.
The quick pitch. He's thrown one to Gene Segura, and Gene was on it and drilled that ball to left center. Get a quick start and a quick pitch.
Jake Lamb waves at that one down and away, and Cueto has his first strikeout. Our eye on defense for the Giants is brought to you by Nationwide Vision Centers.
I think he just fooled him with the fastball, almost slowed him down a little bit early in that bat, and then got him. Well, Connor Gillespie at third base. You got Crawford at short, Green at second for Panic, Belt at first, Brown behind the plate. Out in left field, you got Pagan, center Blanco, and in right field, Parker. Not a lot of names you know for the Giants.
Yeah, Jared Parker, Grant Green, Connor Gillespie, Trevor Brown behind the plate. At the plate for the Diamondbacks with 2 outs and goal to get second and run in. It's Wellington Castillo. First pitch is in there for a strike. 0-1. Welly at 275. He's homered 8 times. Buster Posey getting the night off for the Giants.
At least for the time being.
They finally won one against the A's last night. Posey had a home run. Oakland won the first 3 in that 4-game series.
This was some really tough games, very close games, hard-fought games. Always a big rivalry between the Bay Area teams.
There's Matt Duffy, who's on the DL right now. No Joe Panic, no Hunter Pence. It's one thing to have your starters hurt, but as we said at the top of the show, they have their backups hurt for the guys who are injured. It's doubled up at several positions, mostly in the infield.
Backups of the backups playing.
Yeah. Guys up from AAA Sacramento.
Kind of the Giant way. We've seen this over the years. Bruce Bochy not afraid to call guys up. Expect them to be ready to play.
Yeah, Panic is on the concussion list right now. Duffy has a strained Achilles. Pence has been out with that torn right hamstring. They're also missing Adrianza and Tomlinson, who are the backups. One more look.
Ooh, how do you like to be a catcher?
Trevor Brown back there. That's why Posey's got the night off.
Right, Bill Miller holding him up.
2 outs, 2 balls, and 2 strikes on Wellington Castillo. Full count 3-2, back-to-back 3-2 counts for Cueto.
I'm sure Posey's over there just watching that. Just figures, hey, that's one less bruise for me.
Pops him up. That's got a chance to go foul, and it's in the seats.
Looked like a 2-seamer that time. Just kind of ran in on his hands. Could not extend his arms at all and fouled that one off. He'll pitch inside. He'll pitch outside. If he notices a weakness of a hitter, he thinks the guy's diving out there, he's gonna crowd him.
Well, just like at Scottsdale Stadium every spring, some Giants fans with us. Castillo gets the 3-2 pitch way up in the air, and it's gone. Beef Wellington, that's his 9th, and it's 3-0 Diamondbacks.
What a huge hit for Castillo. 2 outs, runners in score position.
3-2 pitch.
Delivers.
See you later.
Love it. He's able to extend his arms on this slider. Sitting back on this pitch, he knew it was gone as soon as he hit it.
Well, Candy, you said it. If you're going to get to Cueto, you got to do it in the first inning, and they put up a 3 spot.
How about that? That ERA of 5.63 in the first inning for Cueto. It just went up.
Chris Herman. He'll try to keep it going. Chris getting the start in left field tonight.
Love that. 3 hits, 3 extra base hits.
2 doubles and a home run. Herman down 0-2.
That changeup is really tough, especially when he does the big body turn, the full Louis T on.
A jumbo jack off the bat of Wellington Castillo. A free jumbo jack tomorrow from our friends at Jack in the Box with the purchase of a large drink. There's a bouncer to first. Belt on the backhand short hop calls off Cueto, and that's the inning. Segura doubles. Goldie doubles him home to make it 1-0, and then Wellington Castillo, his 9th of the year. It's 3-0 D-backs.
Next 2017 opening day game.
It's 3-0 Diamondbacks. All about the emojis, D-backs fans. Introducing Pepsi emoji. Every time you grab an ice cold Pepsi 20-ounce bottle this summer, you'll find a Pepsi emoji on the side of the bottle. There are hundreds of different designs, so show the world how you feel and what you love with Pepsi emoji using hashtag #SayItWithPepsi. Shelby Miller with a 3-0 lead. Brandon Crawford leads off the Giants' second.
Chance for that shutdown inning right now for Shelby. 3 runs at the bottom of the first. Come back up there and be authoritative right now. Put up a 0.
Something Tony La Russa talks about all the time. The importance to keep that momentum rolling by shutting down the opposition after you're handed a few runs in the previous half inning. Crawford 276, 7 homers. He leads the Giants and all major league shortstops with 52 RBIs. Shelby behind 2-0. 3-0.
You know, and there's always a feeling in the dugout when you're in that dugout and you get that big 2-run inning, 3-run inning, whatever it is. You feel the electricity in there, and that's what Tony's talking about, that momentum. It's a real thing, especially when you're down there.
Well, Shelby had a 10-pitch first, but the first 3 pitches in the second are balls. Now it's 3-1 on Crawford. Crawford homered last night in the Giants win at Oakland. He was 3 for 4. Just inside, a leadoff walk. Not exactly what you were talking about.
Didn't want to do that. I'm going to try to make these guys earn their ways on. Shelby's been really good with his control.
But you know, I'm sorry, Candy, but looking at this lineup, Belt and Crawford are the only 2 guys you don't want to beat you in this lineup tonight, with all the backups in there like we've talked about.
No question about it. You're going to go through this lineup and you're looking with your catcher and maybe your pitching coach. You're going to go, all right, you know, you're counting your outs. Who are you going to get? Who don't you want to beat you? Belt and Crawford.
So we'll see if he was just being careful with Crawford there. Jared Parker. He's got some power from the left-hand side. There's strike 1. Parker 269 and 4 homers in there for Pence.
Well, after you do have a leadoff walk like that as a pitcher, you want to come back and get a quick out, get a ground ball early on. You don't want to have another long pitch at bat.
Parker has been a productive bat for the Giants as of late, with Hunter Pence injured. 11 hits in his last 25 at bats, and he has been crushing right-hand pitching this year.
So far, Shelby with his fastball has been like between 90 and 93 this game. Last game he touched 97.
Yep.
So as he gets going, that velocity is going to increase.
And if we see that velo from Shelby tonight, Candy, does that indicate to you that he's a little more free-flowing, kind of free and easy, letting it go and not trying to place the ball like we saw him do for much of this year?
I agree. You know, I don't think he's a pitcher that's going to go out there and just command the edges, so to speak. You know, he's not really a corner pitcher. He's a guy that sometimes he gets underneath that fastball and he's going to run that thing up, and he's got a lot of life to it. But he's got to keep himself in pitchers' counts. He's got to be even and ahead in the count. That's for him to be successful. He needs to do that.
Well, he fell behind on Crawford 3-0 before he walked him. Now he's down on Parker, 2 balls and 1 strike. Big cut at that one, 2-2.
Another inside fastball, almost the same kind of fastball he was throwing to Brandon Belt. A little inside, trying to tie him up early.
A whole bunch of lefties at the top of this lineup against Shelby Miller, and another one is on deck in Connor Gillespie. The 2-2 to Parker. Long set by Miller. 93 right by him. Second strikeout for Shelby. 1 down in the second.
Well, we said that velo is there. It's starting to come up. A good four-seamer. Little foul tip. Nice job by Castillo to hold on to that foul tip. And there's that out we were talking about. After a leadoff walk, you come back, you get a strikeout.
10th start of the season at third base for the Giants. Connor Gillespie. 263, 2 home runs. Matt Duffy on the DL with an Achilles strain.
Love that pitch. Right at the bottom part of the strike zone. All they're going to do with that is hit the top of the ball. That's going to turn into a double play.
Well, when Dave Stewart acquired Shelby Miller, they went after the pitcher that they had seen in Atlanta last year, in St. Louis prior to that. And Candy, when you watch Shelby pitch for those two teams, everything he threw had some zip on it, some life, some jump. He was a definition of a big right hand Texas power pitcher. And so if you can see a little bit of that now, let's just see him let it go. I think that's a great sign.
Yeah, there's no doubt. You know, they saw this guy right here, and we talked about him even last year. This guy, the way he was throwing for Atlanta. You get him into a place that's got an offense,
yeah,
you know, which the D-backs do. You know that you just kind of disregard that win-loss record, but you got to pitch well no matter where you're at to get wins.
He was an all-star last year. This is bounced over the head of Goldie. That's trouble. It's a fair ball. It rolls all the way to the corner. Crawford being waved home by Roberto Kelly. He will score. Tomas late to pick it up out there, and Connor Gillespie has an RBI triple. A bad break for Shelby Miller. It hopped over the head of Goldie and just stayed fair. And then it just kind of checked up out there on that right field line.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a hard infield here compared to around the leg. And this Goldie's playing just a little bit in front of the bag. This ball bounces right in front of the plate, gets over his head, trickles down the line, and then just kind of catches in the corner. Yasmani's got to get over to get that ball and get it in. But by that time, Gillespie's over at third base.
That's a tough break for Shelby Miller. So 1 out. Gillespie at third, a run in. And here is the second baseman tonight, Grant Green. 2 hits and 5 at bats with the Giants. He was brought up from the Coast League yesterday. First pitch is to the shortstop. Ahmed coming home, and they got him. Nick Ahmed throws him out.
What a play by Ahmed, who was playing deep, and this ball was hit hard. And obviously going on contact was Gillespie, but Nick Ahmed, heads up play, throws a strike to Castillo at the plate, applies the tag, no contest. Great heads up play.
Well, he's out by 6 feet. Fortunately, as you said, Candy, it was hit hard enough for Nick to have that option.
What a great job. That's a big pick me up there.
Big time. The catcher Trevor Brown, 258. He's homered 4 times. Green at first, now 2 outs. There's strike 1.
Well, the Giants making 2 outs on the base paths already in this game.
High fly ball, left center field. Michael Bourne calls off Chris Herman. Shelby Miller with some help from Nick Ahmed has the lead. It's 3-1 Diamondbacks. Lead off the second. D-backs lead the Giants 3-1. Hey, D-backs fans, if you can't catch the games on TV, you can now stream them live on your mobile device if you use the all-new Fox Sports Go app. Just download the app and take Fox Sports Arizona and D-backs baseball with you wherever you go. What a play by Nick Ahmed.
Big play. Saved a run. Heads up.
Tomas against Johnny Cueto. There's the quick pitch. Tomas taking all the way. Looks at strike one.
Quick pitch through the slider that time.
Yasmani 265, 13 home runs. One of those home runs came against Johnny Cueto at AT&T Park. Another quick pitch, and Tomas belts it into left. Angel Pagan bobbles the ball out there. A leadoff single for Yasmani Tomas, El Tanque.
Well, he doubled up on the quick pitch. And this time I think it was a changeup. No, maybe a slider again. And he drills this ball to left field. He wasn't going to mess with that.
Yasmani's now hit safely in 5 straight, 10 of his last 11. And he's aboard for Nick Ahmed. Nick's got a 5-game hitting streak now with 231 on the year.
Nick likes to jump on that early pitch.
And he does so here. Deep fly ball right field. Jared Parker in front of the warning track has it for the first out.
Boy, he had a good pitch to hit too. Fastball. Drilled it, hit it pretty well, but out to right field, but it was caught.
Shelby Miller now. A long look to third base at Matt Williams. See how they want to play this with Tomas at first and 1 out.
There's 3 quick pitches now that Cueto has made.
And every one of them, Candy, has been a hanging breaking ball.
It has. It's been a slider. They got 2 of those for base hits. Nice job for the D-backs. Segura starting the game off with that double. Now Tomas with that base hit. Quick pitch isn't working so far.
Keep it coming the way it's been going.
Nice hack that time by Shelby Miller. Very good athlete. Big cut that time. Just fouled a straight back.
And Shelby was a very good high school football player in Texas as a tight end receiver. He was an all-state punter, in fact. All-district tight end. Squares to bunt. That rolls foul. Hey fans, the Diamondbacks and Geico are proud to offer military and first responders ticket discounts all season long and every game on this homestand to celebrate our nation's independence. These discounts include half off to all Sunday home games this year. For more information and to get your tickets, visit dbacks.com/military. 0-2 on Shelby Miller. That kicks away from Trevor Brown. Tomas moves up, so there's your sacrifice bunt right there.
Boy, that was a clank right there. I don't know if he got crossed up on the pitch. It was a slider. It was a little bit down in the zone. Turns his glove the other way, and this ball clanks off the heel. And he looks at his glove as he's going to chase the ball.
Fastball charge to Trevor Brown back there. Puts Tomas at second with 1 out, a 1-2 count on Miller.
Drive him in now.
Tried to, but he strikes out. Second strikeout for Cueto, 2 outs.
Well, with the high cheese that time, got him up in the zone.
Gene Segura doubled and scored to lead off the ball game for the Diamondbacks. Segura's hit safely in 5 straight now, and 8 of his last 9. Tomas at second and 2 outs. There's strike 1.
Gene Segura's been a hit machine, although he has been drawing some walks lately.
20 bases on balls this season. He walked only 13 times all of last year with Milwaukee. And you know, he walked 3 times in April, Gene Segura. He walked twice in May. He walked 15 times in June.
It seemed like about a bunch of those were in Colorado.
He's been a tremendous acquisition by the front office this year, and should be an all-star.
That was one of those moves that kind of went a little bit under the radar for the most part, but he has taken that job and run with it. He has been great.
Second in the National League in hits, his double in the first inning, his 100th of the year. We also got in that trade the Diamondbacks Tyler Wagner from Milwaukee, very promising young right-hand pitcher who's been injured most of this year, unfortunately. Otherwise, I'm sure we would have seen him up here more than once already.
Yeah, we caught a little glimpse of it. He did a really nice job.
Then he suffered a lat injury, and he's been out for most of the last 6 weeks or so. 1-2.
Inside fastball. You fought it off. That's the one you want to foul off. If you hit it, the ball's not going anywhere. It's pitching to the small part of the bat. You got a free swinger, and a lot of pitchers try to get Gene out inside about hand high.
Called strike 3. Bill Miller rings him up. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Cueto, 3 for the game. He strands Tomas at second and keeps it a 3-1 D-backs lead.
Jody Jackson with you. Some news on the starting rotation today. We've got an update on Zach Greinke, who left the field the other day with tightness in his left oblique. The good news is the Diamondbacks have not decided to put him on the DL. He says he feels better today. Chip Hill convincing him, look, Tuesday's start might be a little too soon. The team would like to play it safe and see how he is, but there's a chance, guys, that he could start in that final series against the Giants in San Francisco right before the All-Star break. If he cannot, or I should say the next start on Tuesday, in fact, would likely be Zach Godley, and Archie Bradley, guys, will start on Monday. So barring any change, it looks like Zach won't make that start on Tuesday. That's what the team would like to happen. In fact, it would be Zach Godley. Guys?
Thank you, Jody. No rush. Where do you stand on that, Candy? If he's even got a 0.5% chance that he's not 100%, he should sit. That's just where I stand.
I'm with that too as a pitcher. He's that important to your team. It's not like you're down at the very end of the season. That's a different deal. But right now, you got to have that guy 100%. But I do like the fact that he's going to come back and pitch against the Giants as long as he's feeling up to the task.
So we'll see what happens there. 1-2 on Johnny Cueto as it leads off the third against Shelby Miller. Emergency hack gets a piece, stays alive.
Miller doing a good job now. That's 8 of 9 first pitch strikes. So he is getting ahead of the hitters.
.30 pitches for Shelby, 20 strikes. And he rings up Cueto. 3 strikeouts for Shelby, 1 down in the third.
He's inching up a little bit. That was at 94 miles an hour. Nice pitch right over the outside third.
When he was an all-star in Atlanta last year, it was 4-seamer, cutter, 2-seamer, all fastballs, all mid-90. He just blew guys away.
Yeah, it was all power stuff.
And we haven't seen him because it seems like because he's had trouble locating any of that stuff right out of the gate here this year. He just have not been able to be that guy again.
No, and I think when we've seen the last couple starts, including this start now, 3 starts, he looks more to me like a pitcher instead of a guy that's fighting his mechanics, hoping to throw a strike.
Blanco jumps on the first one, high in the air, shallow right center. Segura will yield to Bourne. 2 up, 2 down in the Giant third.
Segura was right in front of him and lifted his glove up like he was going to catch that ball.
I don't know what was the reason for that, but all right. Who's got it?
Watch Gene. He's up there. Oh, yeah. They're trying to get 2 outs for the price of 1.
Angel Pagan swung at the first pitch and flying out to center his first time up. Takes a strike.
3 1-pitch outs now too. That's always key, keeping that pitch count down. Again, he's pounding that zone, that first pitch of every at bat.
Fires that in at 94 and jumps ahead 0-2. That's a terrific pitch right there.
Great pitch. He's keeping himself in pitchers counts now. He's staying even or ahead in the count. Other than that leadoff walk to Crawford, he has just really been really commanding the strike zone.
Yeah, the Gillespie triple was really a bad break.
Yep.
Fastball away, lays off, and it's 1-2. What was that, 88?
That was a cutter, I think. Tried to backdoor him with a cutter and just missed. Looked like a pretty good pitch to me. Maybe even a changeup on that. His changeup is a little firm. Cutter a little bit harder.
Got it in on the hands that time. Bounces to Goldie. Shelby Miller nicely done. A quick 1-2-3 third. D-backs lead the Giants 3-1. Michael Bourne will lead off, the Diamondback third against Johnny Cueto. Hey fans, no better place than Chase Field 4th of July. We will close the roof, keep the ballpark cool for the game against the Padres at 6:10. Then we'll open things up for the expanded fireworks spectacular brought to you by Gila River Casinos. Spend 4th of July with us right here at Chase Field, dbacks.com/tickets. Bourne down quickly 0-2. That's a great 4th of July. You get nice air conditioning. You watch the Diamondbacks. We open things up. You have your fireworks.
What a blast that would be. You're right there. You got a great seat to watch the fireworks.
Yeah. Best fireworks show in town. Quick pitch misses.
Another off-speed pitch, though, on a quick pitch. That's 4 of them now.
Do you think because I guess the hitter would react to seeing the quick pitch by speeding everything up himself, and then maybe he's trying to catch him out in front with some off-speed stuff, breaking stuff? Bourne drives this to center field. Blanco back it up, and he's got room.
Nice swing by Michael Bourne that time. Drilled this ball to the opposite gap. Just hung up there a little bit long. And Blanco's able to catch it.
4 in a row set down by Cueto. Here's Goldie. An RBI double. He scored a run his first time up. Came in on the Wellington Castillo homer.
It's only the second time this whole game where he has missed with the first pitch.
This was Goldie's double in the first. Knocked in Gene Segura. There's a strike, 1-1.
Goldie likes that ball outside. He loves that ball middle away. He loves to drive it that way. He gets great plate coverage for a guy that doesn't really dive, but he has great plate coverage. He'll shoot it that way.
Is that just because he's so big that he can cover that area down and away?
Yeah, he just gets to it. You know, there's a lot of guys that are going to have that open stance and maybe they got to dive into it. But Goldie has coverage out there, and he's so disciplined in the strike zone also.
Goldie bobblehead day here tomorrow night, fans. Get your tickets, dbacks.com. First 20,000 get the Paul Goldschmidt bobblehead. That's tomorrow night, a 7:10 start here at Chase Field. Patrick Corbin and Jeff Samardzija. That's a great night to be at the ballpark. Watch those two guys pitch. Get your Goldie bobblehead. Pitch number 50 from Johnny Cueto. 1-2 on Goldie.
Johnny Cueto having a little bit trouble now with Trevor Brown behind the plate. In fact, not only did he shake him off, but he stepped off the rubber, went back to the back of the mound, regrouped.
Goldie can't lay off, and he strikes out. That's 4 strikeouts for Cueto. 2 down in the third.
Threw 4 pitches down in the zone and then rushed that fastball up high out of the strike zone, but over the plate, and he got Goldie to chase.
Jake Lamb, a strikeout victim in his first at bat. Crawford, the shortstop, will move over just about behind the second base bag. He's kind of shading over toward it. And Connor Gillespie all by himself midway between second and third. There's his strike, 0-1. Jake over his last 13 games, 5 homers and 15 RBIs. Now they'll move Gillespie, the third baseman, to the second base spot. Jake Lamb, kiss it goodbye. Way back and gone. He's homered in 3 straight games. That's number 18.
Jake Lamb is on fire. That ball was pelted, a quick pitch fastball, and he was ready for it.
He has homered in 3 straight. He has homered 6 times in his last 14 games.
The quick pitch, we talked about it. That's our key to the game, and boom, he didn't miss. This was a missile out to right field.
From the moment it left the bat, gone. And a nice catch out there.
My goodness.
Well, we've got a Goldie RBI and a Jake Lamb RBI. The big boys are stepping up against Cueto. Here's Castillo, who homered his first time up, his 9th of the year. Jumbo Jack, a free Jumbo Jack tomorrow from Jack in the Box. Tell him Jake Lamb sent you. Castillo drives this one deep to center. Blanco on the track, and he runs it down. But the Diamondbacks add one more. Jake Lamb is 18th of the year. They lead it 4-1. run of the year has made it 4-1 Diamondbacks. During the month of July, D-Backs Live will welcome a new guest analyst during home games. Tomorrow, Gambo is in the house. Stand by. Who knows what could happen here? Yes, John Gambadoro from Arizona Sports 98.7 FM will join the show as a VIP. Then Sunday, Matt McConnell, Coyotes' fine play-by-play announcer, will join the show. It's D-Backs Live VIPs presented by Nissan all month long.
Hey, be on your toes.
Brandon Belt. You never know what Gambo will say.
That's why you love him.
Yeah. It makes him such a great listen every afternoon along with Dave Burns. Belt struck out to end the first. Gambo's an old school baseball fan. He loves baseball. He goes back to his Yankee teams of the 70s.
Oh yeah. You'll hear it now.
I think he's still trying to figure out his Robbie Ray, Ron Guidry comp. That's probably for another show. Well, he fell behind on Crawford in the second to lead off that inning, 3-0. Ended up walking him, and Crawford scored on the Gillespie triple. And now he's behind on Belt 3-0 to open up the fourth. 4-pitch walk.
It almost looked like he was working around him, and I know that's not the case. I mean, just even look at the location of the pitches, just all on the edges, down in the zone. One well up and away.
You can see him shaking his head there. When Shelby gets in trouble, Candy, it seems he nibbles. Like you say, working around the edges of the zone. That's when he really had problems earlier this year, it seemed.
Yep. And that, and I think a lot of that was mechanical too. Obviously, he had a lot of problems mechanically, but it looks to me like he's figured those out. They've done a great job getting him straightened out.
40 pitches, 25 strikes.
Yeah, he's been pounding the strike zone.
Well, be careful with Crawford. A homer last night in their win at Oakland. He was 3 for 4.
Well, just like last time, I always say after that walk, the next at bat is huge. It can keep you away from having a big inning or not if you're a pitcher. And when he walked Crawford, he came back and struck Parker out. I'd like to get an out right here on Crawford.
Drives it hard to center. Bourne runs it down. Michael Bourne.
Boy, what a tremendous play by Bourne. Had a great jump on this ball. His route was right to the ball. I thought it was sailing over his head. He reached up and snagged this ball. What a great play. And then gets the ball back in.
Well, I've lost count, Candy, of how many times he's made plays like that, going back and coming in.
He has been unbelievable in center field.
And he's had to hold down the fort out there. Chris Herman is the backup center fielder. And Chris is starting in left field tonight. Another great play in center by Michael Bourne. Here's Jared Parker. Struck out in the second inning in his first at bat against Shelby Miller.
Think of these center fielders that the Diamondbacks have had this year. You know, Pollock, Peralta, Brito, Owings. And you're all the way down, and you got a guy like Michael Bourne who's making plays like this. He's doing just a wonderful job.
Well, the problem there is, I mean, Michael's 33 years old, and he's had to play pretty much every day, so you don't want to wear him out. So we anticipate we'll see Chris Herman start in center field at some point this weekend. Maybe on Sunday, we'll see. And with Ricky Weeks Jr. on the bereavement list, they've called up Tuffy Gozowish is back.
There's Tuffy.
So he's an option to start behind the plate if you want to use Herman in center and give Bourne the night off.
Yeah. And Tuffy's just been hitting like crazy down south.
Yeah, he's had a big year at Reno. A Pacific Coast League All-Star. Great to have him back.
Now, we know Tuffy can catch, but he is 9 home runs, 342. Look at those numbers.
He likes hitting in Reno.
Yeah, he does.
Most guys do. 2-1 to Jared Parker. Let's go downstairs to Jody.
Well, guys, you mentioned Ricky Weeks Jr. going in the bereavement list and Tuffy coming up. That's the move today. But Chip Hill mentioned something interesting. Ricky coming back on Sunday. Doesn't have to be Tuffy necessarily to go back down. One thing Chip was talking about was the fact that if you keep Chris Herman mainly, more of an outfielder, it gives you the chance maybe to not have to worry about resting him so much to catch it. And maybe we'll see more of Chris Herman in the outfield if Tuffy happens to stay on the roster, guys.
Well, let's hope so, because Tuffy does a great job with those pitchers, Jody. 2-2 on Parker.
Well, it really does make sense because, you talked about you have to give Michael Bourne a breather out there at times, and he's really the guy.
So, and they want to get Chris Herman's bat in there anyway, the way he's been hitting, especially on what is pretty much a right-hand heavy team. You could really use Chris's left-hand bat in there more often. 3-2 on Jared Parker. Belted first, 1 out. Got him. 93 from Shelby. Second time he struck out Parker.
Reared back and ran this ball up in the zone. Fastball. Look at the life on that. See, just explodes into Castillo's glove.
I love seeing that from Shelby because he's got the kind of stuff where he can go after anybody in the league. Here it is, hit it. Just attack.
Yeah, and there's a lot of motion that goes with that. The ball comes out of his hand, and it's electric.
Connor Gillespie, who bounced the ball fair all the way down the right field line for an RBI triple. And by the way, we want to pass along our best wishes to the Weeks family. Ricky Weeks Jr. on bereavement leave. His grandfather just passed away. So that's the reason for Ricky Weeks Jr.'s absence, and we wish them all the best.
I'd like to come back and get Gillespie right now. After he kind of hurt you early on, that triple, that kind of lucky triple, really down the line.
It got a very favorable bounce and roll, that's for sure, and just kind of stopped out there. And he was in at third easily, scoring Crawford, who would walk to lead off that inning. 50 pitches for Shelby Miller, 31 strikes, 1-1 on Connor Gillespie. Hits this in the air. Chris Herman, long run for Chris, and it's into the bullpen. A break for the Diamondbacks as Bell will have to stop at third. So Gillespie 2 for 2, a triple, now a double.
Well, he went the other way with this pitch. A really good pass of the ball this time. Ball's a little bit outside. He stays inside the ball, slices it. Chris runs out of room down there, and luckily for the Diamondbacks, that ball bounces over the wall. And when that happens, Belt's got to stay at third base.
So here's the second baseman tonight, Grant Green. Belt at third, Gillespie at second, and 2 outs. Green hit the ball on which Nick Ahmed came home with it and threw Gillespie out, trying to score from third.
That was a very hard hit ball. Ahmed, just a heads up ball player, cut the run down at the plate.
And it wasn't close.
Talk about Shelby pitching with runners in scoring position. Here's a big opportunity now. He has struggled this year. A .333 average, 7 home runs, 11 extra base hits, a .1237 OPS going into this game.
Well, this is a guy he's got to get, Grant Green. Called up from the minor leagues. He's been at AAA Sacramento most of the year.
So far in those situations tonight, hitters are 0 for 1 against Shelby.
They had Ramiro Pena, but he sprained an ankle in the outfield when he collided with Mac Williamson the other day. So they had to call up Green yesterday from Sacramento. He was hitting .294 down there. 6 home runs in 65 games. Like we said, even the backups are injured for Bruce Bochy right now. Here's the 1-1. Missed with it, 2 balls and a strike.
The MASH unit.
Most of Grant Green's big league service time came with the Angels, parts of the last 3 seasons in Anaheim. Just over 100 games. He hit .263 there. Former first-round pick by the A's out of USC in 2009. Oh, that one squirts through. Belt will score. Gillespie right behind, and it's a 2-run single. He hit it hard up the middle. It got into center, and it's a 4-3 ball game. Grant Green knocks in 2.
Second hard hit ball, cutter on the outside part, and he goes right up the middle of the ball. If you get that ball past the pitcher, there's a lot of hits at the middle of the field. Great try by Segura, but just could not knock it down. And again, that statistic comes back to haunt Shelby, pitching with runners in scoring position.
Well, he had 2 outs after the walk to Belt, but Gillespie has doubled. Green is singled. It's a 4-3 ball game. Here's the catcher, Trevor Brown.
Yeah, that really hurts. You can't pitch around the walks. Both walks now scoring.
Both to lead off innings. This is out to Herman, and Chris is there. But the Giants get 2. D-backs lead it by 1.
Fun times in the pool. Wow, beat that weather. How about Johnny Cueto tonight? Trying to quick pitch everybody. First inning, Segura. It's like a changeup, drills it. Another quick pitch. Tomas jumps on this cutter. And again, quick pitch, fastball, bang. Quick pitch isn't quite working tonight.
But I mean, he's just throwing hanging nothing balls when he does that. I mean, there's nothing on it.
No, he's just, and that's, it has to make him wonder a little bit when you have great stuff, you have great command. Why sacrifice that to try to be a little deceptive out there? Try to upset timing. It's definitely cost him tonight.
There's Herman grounded out in his first at bat. I imagine that when you do quick pitch guys like that, you're trying to get them to speed up and catch them off balance, and maybe they'll be way out in front of a changeup or something. But you still have to locate it, don't you?
You have to locate. I mean, he's trying to upset timing, but it's not working. Especially now that he's done it enough. It's around the league. People know about it. You know, you game plan for it a little bit. Diamondbacks surely were aware of it.
Yeah. There's another one. Missed with it. 2-2.
If you do an analysis sometime of all the quick pitches that he's made during the course of the season, and what those numbers can say what the story is.
Gives you the little half tee-on there, and he strikes out Herman. 5 strikeouts for Cueto.
So instead of being quick that time, he was really hesitating. Comes up, holds it a little bit longer than normal, and then rushes the fastball in.
Yasmani Tomas got one of those quick pitches to lead off the second and knocked it into left field for a single. Yasmani has it safely in 5 straight, 10 of his last 11. Well, that's the second time, Candy, and I'm not sure I've seen him do that all year long, that Yasmani Tomas has gone up there taking all the way, bat on his shoulder in the first pitch. Usually he swings at that like that. But we've seen him in both at bats tonight, taken all the way.
Yeah, both at bats, and then jumping on the second pitch. That was a pretty tough changeup. That was a hard one to hit. Figure this, the pitch before was a changeup down, then he tries to rush the fastball up, trying to get him to chase that ball out of the zone.
The hitting coaches, Dave Magadan on the left, Mark Grace on the right.
A lot of hits between those two guys.
You bet.
Especially that guy named Grace.
Well, Dave Magadan was a great collegiate hitter at the University of Alabama.
Pitching against both those guys, they really had the same kind of approach.
Which was what?
Really the same kind of hitter. I mean, they're just contact hitters. They're not, you never really feared that they were going to hit the ball out of the ballpark, but they're going to hit a line drive somewhere.
Omaha strikes out, 6 strikeouts for Cueto, 2 down. Anytime the D-backs score 5 runs or more, Taco Bell is giving away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 p.m. the following day at participating locations. Nick Ahmed.
As we said before, Nick doesn't like to wait around. He likes to jump on that ball, that pitch early in the count if it's in there.
Did that in his first at bat. Flying out to right. There's a strike.
Now that time Cueto went for the dance move, I guess, as you call it.
Well, he and the great Louis Tiant have corresponded back and forth. Louis, of course, former great Indians and Red Sox pitcher. There's a full El Tiante. And he's encouraged Cueto to do that more often.
Well, it certainly worked for Louis.
Well, he was a great pitcher.
Just a lot. I think everybody imitated Louis. It was fun.
19 seasons in the big leagues. Louis Tiant won well over 200 games. Twice led the American League in ERA. They've had several discussions about the windup. Although Tiant insists that Cueto doesn't spin around as much as he did. But he says if you do it every pitch, the more you'll do it, the better control you'll have, and you'll fool the hitter more often. There's a quick pitch. Ahmed's on it. Along the right field line, Jared Parker in foul ground, and it hits off the top of the fence. Do you buy that? The more that he spins around and gives you the full turn, the better control and command he'll have?
Yeah, I think that's for sure. That's the case. I think anytime that you do something over and over, you get better at doing it, and you'll have better body control doing that also. I remember Louis Tiant being a lot slower than Cueto as he made that turn, just really holding back and then letting it go.
Well, as the great Joe Garagiola Sr. said when he was doing the 1975 World Series at NBC, at one point Cueto or Tiant will look every single person in the seats in the eye all around the ballpark. There's the rocking chair right there. That's what he calls the rocking chair move. He's got a whole bunch of different ones. The shimmy shake, and here's what he calls the rocking chair delivery. Back and forth.
Well, even after he does all that, I mean, it's fun to watch, but he still keeps his weight back, and he's still collecting himself and then driving towards the plate. But as a hitter, if you got guys that jump a lot, then that could throw their timing off.
Quick pitch fastball misses away, and it's a full count 3-2. Well,
another quick pitch didn't work for him there.
Well, he's starting to throw fastballs with that now.
Yeah.
He wasn't doing that the first 3 innings.
Threw that fastball to Jake Lamb. He hit that ball a long ways.
70 pitches, 49 strikes for Cueto. 2 outs, 3-2 to Nick Ahmed. Cueto says he decides which motion he's going to use on the fly. He's winging it out there. He makes it up as he goes along. There is no plan. Nick chases that one in the dirt. So Johnny Cueto, nope.
Looks like a foul tip, maybe.
Yeah. Bill Miller says he got a piece of it. Nope. He needed to look at the baseball to decide. The glove got under the ball. Here comes Chip Hale. Cueto strikes out the side. We'll recap when we come back. Inning, time to take a look back in history. It's presented by Geico. Of course, now it's AT&T Park. It used to be Pac Bell Park in San Francisco. And on this day back in 2000, Park, which was the baseball aquatic retrieval corps, debuts at Pac Bell. 6 Portuguese water dogs were used to retrieve the splashdown home runs into McCovey Cove. How about that? This moment in canine history. Candy, have you figured out what all the hubbub was there with Bill Miller?
I think Bill Miller originally called it a foul tip.
Gracie has the actual ball. The umpire wanted to see the ball before he said strikeout.
He wanted to see if there was dirt on it, and we clearly saw in the replay that the ball did hit the dirt, but it didn't look like he foul tipped it.
I know Nick was saying that he got a piece of it. It didn't appear to us as we looked at it during the break that he did. But it was a very difficult play, and that's another reason why they should use replays in those types of situations. They don't now, which makes 0 sense. Cueto leads off the Giant 5th against Shelby Miller. D-backs lead at 4-3. That's an almost impossible call for the plate umpire. He's got 1, sometimes 2 people standing in front of him. The ball is moving at 90 miles an hour. Doesn't look like Ahmed tips it there, and it did hit the ground as Trevor Brown got his glove on it. But Bill Miller, the crew chief, looked at the baseball and then gave the strikeout mechanic.
You know, I'm surprised Trevor Brown didn't try to tag him if he didn't think he tipped it.
0-2 on Cueto. I think it ended up being the correct call.
Yeah, I think when it's all said and done, and out.
There's a bouncer to second for Gene Segura. Johnny Cueto ran about 10 feet and gave up.
I would have loved for Segura just to hold the ball till he got at least halfway down the line.
I mean, watch Johnny Cueto. I won't even use the term as he comes out of the box because he just sort of strolls casually.
He uses more energy on his rocking chair move than he did on that.
Well, that's what you get for your money, I guess, right? 6 years, $130 million. Gregor Blanco.
Let's just say he's no Bumgarner.
Mad Bum was his own DH last night and got a base hit in Oakland.
Double.
Well, we talked about all the guys they have on the DL. Now the backups for the backups aren't playing because Bruce Bochy has so many guys injured. But it seemed like, look, Madison Bumgarner is a better hitter than most of the guys on the team. Why wouldn't he DH or hit for himself in this case?
A better hitter, but
so
probably got more thump also.
Yeah. So the National League team goes to the American League Park and chooses not to use the DH. That happened last night. The Giants win at Oakland, and Mad Bum had a hit.
Hunter Pence. We talk about energy. He has like 8 energy bars a day, I think.
He's out with a torn right hamstring. All he eats is kale. It's good for you.
Well, I saw him eat beef jerky on a commercial.
Oh, beef jerky time. 1-2. Hunter Pence is a huge Game of Thrones guy. Are you a BB's doesn't watch the Game of Thrones? Do you?
Never seen it.
Never seen it.
Never seen it. So I can't help you out there.
You don't care that Jon Snow is no longer dead and
Jack Snow, he was a football player
for the Rams. Yes, but different
Snow. I don't
different
know who
guys. I don't think Jack Snow ever went north of the wall, but that's okay. 1-2. Lays off, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I'd rather watch Shark Week.
Shark Week's on every week, isn't it? It seems like it is. Blanco has singled, flied out, 1 for 2. Full count.
Good try, just underneath the strike zone there. Nice pitch.
Shelby has walked 2 in the ball game. Crawford to lead off the 2nd. Bell to lead off the 4th. They have both scored. Now the 3-2 pitch to Gregor Blanco with 1 out in the 5th. A base hit into right field. Blanco 2 for 3. A late addition to the lineup after Denard Span was scratched with a stiff neck.
There's a base hit through that hole on the right side. Goldie going towards the bag. You see Goldie a lot of times just go after that ball.
Yeah, I was a little surprised he didn't, frankly.
Yeah, normally he's very aggressive as first baseman. and he'll try to get anything. And he always has good communication with Segura, second baseman. And he always knows where he's at.
That was kind of a tweener. Pagano for 2.
I mean, he wouldn't have had it anyway, but usually he goes after it.
And Blanco runs really well. If he has to come that far off the bag, chances are they don't get him anyway. Down there with first base coach Bill Hayes. Blanco was caught stealing, thrown out by Wellington Castillo in the first inning. He's stolen 3 bases this year, been caught 3 times.
Not much of a shift for Pagan. He sprays the ball around. He goes foul line to foul line. Hard to defend him.
Pagan will be 35 years old tomorrow. High in the air to center. Michael Bourne. Pagan 0 for 3, 2 outs in the 5th.
And nicely done with the fastball up in the zone that time. Now for Shelby Miller, think of this. He's got 7 outs on either 1 or 2 pitches, so he's done a really good job keeping his pitch count down.
Only had 68 pitches through 4 2/3. Brandon Belt has struck out, walked, scored a run. Mentioned that Belt is walking much more this year than ever before. 6th in the National League in on base percentage.
I really liked how he pitched in the first time. A lot of hard stuff inside.
Roller right to Goldie. 1 pitch out there for Shelby Miller, who is through 5 with a 4-3 lead. Diamondbacks lead the Giants 4-3. We are joined in our Diamondback TV booth by the lovely Vanessa here, who is modeling our D-back sombrero, and you need to add this to your collection, fans. It's the one-of-a-kind item. It'll be given out to the first 20,000 fans at the game Saturday, July 16th. Shelby Miller hits a little roller that Cueto takes care of. You can get your tickets now at dbacks.com. First 20,000 fans Saturday, July 16th.
I know I have the mic ready this time.
Nice.
I'm
Good work.
ready. I'm prepared.
And then after the ball game, we have something else, right?
Yeah, so after the ball game, we have a post-game show presented by Sprint with Luis Coronel. It's Arizona's very own talent, so come stick around afterwards after you get your sombrero.
I can see Canada. I can see you, pulling that down over your eyes, kind of taking a nap in the middle innings over on radio.
I don't have no problem wearing a sombrero. Trust me.
Well, I feel like you have to dance when you wear it.
I fully support that.
You know the mariachis.
No, I don't think I can dance, but I can wear the sombrero.
Yeah, you're like the guy leaning against the building asleep. Segura, deep drive to right. 2 quick outs for Cueto. 2 pitches, 2 outs. Thank you, Vanessa.
Thank you.
Of course, Vanessa and Mike do such a great job here at the ballpark.
Center field.
We're talking about quick outs for Shelby Miller. Candy, how about Cueto?
Well, he's really the last inning. He strikes out the side. And now he's coming back. 2 real quick outs right now.
Michael Bourne 0 for 2. 0 for 1, I should say. Had a sac bunt in the first. See, I can see you putting on the sombrero, just kind of putting your feet up over there in radio with the governor. And, you know, tilting it down over your head. Just taking a nap in, I don't know, middle innings.
You know who would do that? Leo. Because he's always taking a nap.
There's absolutely no question about that. JJ Putz filling in for you on the radio side tonight, along with the governor Greg Schulte, just to our right. Yeah. BB has the night off. When is BB? Is BB back tomorrow? Bob will be back tomorrow.
With the sombrero.
I don't think Johnny Cueto could wear one with all that hair he's got under there. He's got a whole thing going there.
I don't know how he does that.
Looks like it weighs a lot. A rocking chair, and Bourne belts it into center.
Well, Michael Bourne, you knew after he had 2 real quick outs, you knew he was going to put it a bat on Cueto that time. Kind of saw a couple pitches, then got a pitch he could drive right up the middle, line shot. It's Oscar Gamble.
Good call. Goldie now, an RBI double and a strikeout. He has scored a run. There's a strike, 0-1. D-backs have out-hit the Giants 6-5. They lead at 4-3. A 2-run homer by Wellington Castillo in the 5th. A solo shot by Jake Lamb in the 3rd. Jake's 18th of the year. They had a 1-0 lead in the 1st on Goldie's RBI double.
You know, you think about that. 2 home runs the Diamondbacks have hit. Cueto only coming into this game only given 4.
That was the number that you pointed out before we even started the game. Yeah.
He doesn't walk guys. He doesn't give up home runs. And 2 long balls.
115 innings coming into the game. He had only given up 4 home runs all year, but he gave up 2 through the first 3 innings tonight.
I think it was like the lowest home run rate in all of baseball.
80 pitches, 58 strikes. 0-2 to Paul Goldschmidt. Jake Lamb would be next. Goldie checks. And he did not go. That's Brian Knight at first.
Really trying to keep that ball away from Goldie in this at bat. 1 ball comes up and in, but the first pitch and the 3rd pitch both down and away, trying to nibble that outside corner at the knees.
Launches this one a mile up in the air, but he yanked it foul. Wow.
Tried to come in again.
That got up into the upper tank and down the concourse.
My goodness.
Boom. Just couldn't keep it fair.
Perfect example of a hitter pulling his hands in to try to get the barrel of the bat to the ball. He doesn't do that. That bat just shatters.
Cueto fastball away. He missed. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
He's gone out, in, out, in, out.
Well, if he comes in again, Goldie might hit it 440.
Yeah, I don't think he'll want to come in again.
After what we saw in the previous pitch.
Yes.
Trevor Brown back there. Buster Posey the night off. Let's see where he sets up. Wants it down. You see Trevor Brown tapping his mitt on the ground there. Keep it down. Don't let it up. See a lot of catchers do that now, Candy. A last little reminder to the pitcher out there.
Especially when he gives them the pickoff sign, and a lot of times you'll see catchers set up inside or tap the dirt down. The guy at first base, the runner, he's rarely looking at that.
That's in the dirt, and Goldie has worked it full.
Another good AB for Goldie. And what that does now, that'll get him on the move.
We'll start Bourne from first. 2 outs, 3 balls, and 2 strikes. So anything in the gap likely scores a run here. Belt will play behind the runner at first.
A lot of room, middle of the field.
There goes Michael Bourne. Goldie hits it right at Crawford. It backs him up. Long throw, and he's got it. So Cueto strands the 2-out single. We are through 5. Diamondbacks lead the Giants 4-3. Watch Shark Week. It is Shark Week, and a shark attacked Mark Grace during the Legends race. Came out of nowhere.
I don't know if that's Colossus or Big Blue, the big great white, but he got Gracie.
I think you're going to need a bigger boat. And then he did the robot at the finish line, the shark. Of course, you've got the shark going for the Giants tomorrow, Jeff Samardzija. And now you've got an actual shark in the Legends race.
We got everything here for you.
Brandon Crawford leads off the Giants 6th against Shelby Miller. That would be Gracie playing the part of Robert Shaw from the movie. Crawford has walked, flied out, scored a run.
70 pitches now thrown.
44 strikes.
1 or 2 pitch outs. 8 of them.
1-1. Very efficient. Ran into trouble in that 4th, though, and Gillespie doubled and Green singled home 2, both with 2 outs after he walked Bell to lead off the inning. Blasted to center, but right at Bourne.
Well, that's a couple times now that Crawford has really hit the ball hard right to Bourne.
Yeah. Well, Parker getting the start in right field for the injured Hunter Pence. Another left-hand bat in there for Bruce Bochy tonight. Has been up twice and struck out twice. D-backs will put the shift on as Jake Lamb moves to the second base spot. Oh, he just flares it the other way, and it drops in front of Chris Herman. A 1-out single for Parker. Hey fans, follow the Arizona Diamondbacks live with the MLB.com at Bat app. You can stay up to the moment at any moment with game day, live game video highlights, StatCast, news, more, the whole thing. Download MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and tablet. And a great night for Connor Gillespie. He's got an RBI triple, a double. He has scored a run. In there at third for the injured Matt Duffy. Duffy with a strained Achilles. He's on the DL.
Shelby with 6 ground ball double plays so far this year. Could use one right here.
Well, Gillespie's done a nice job filling in at third. His last 11 games coming into tonight, he was hitting over .420 with 8 RBIs, and he's 2 for 2 tonight with 2 extra base hits. Gillespie was originally a first-round pick by the Giants out of Wichita State. Played a handful of games at the big league level with the Giants. Was traded to the White Sox before the 2013 season. Played 2 full seasons in Chicago. Spent some time with the Angels last year. And came back to the Giants this spring. This is where he started. And for a long time, he was considered a first-round bust. Got a label as a very difficult guy and hard guy to deal with. Didn't like him in the clubhouse. So they sent him to the White Sox, and now he's a changed man, he says. Happy to be back with the Giants.
Sometimes when you have a little target on your back when you're a #1 pick.
He didn't seem to handle it real well.
Guys make it hard on you. Tell you what, you get in the minor leagues and it's guys wanting to take other jobs. There's a lot of competition.
He's old school, Candy. He's just rubbing the dirt between his hands. No batting gloves.
I like that. Got the lizard skin on the handle.
Out of Omaha, Nebraska, Connor Gillespie. Miller ahead 1-2. That one bounced.
I don't know how Wellington Castillo blocked this ball.
Keeps Parker where he is at first.
And this ball hits well before the plate. Comes up, nice job. It took it off the chest protector, a little bit of the neck area.
Then off the top of his head.
But it deadened.
What are you saying?
I'm saying they kept the guy at first base.
2-2 now.
Helped his pitcher out.
Shelby has not been able to get Gillespie all night long. We'll see how he does here in the 2-2 pitch. Missed with it. That might have been that power changeup again.
Could have been.
Full count, 3-2.
Now Gillespie, the little bit that we've seen of him so far, this is his third at bat in this game. He seems pretty disciplined to me. He's not a guy that has that aggressive selective mode. He's not up there just trying to swing.
Parker takes off, and that one rolls into right field. Boy, Connor Gillespie has found every little nook and cranny here tonight. 3 at bats. He's now a home run shy of the cycle, and he has hit them where they ain't all night long.
A couple of those balls on the right side now just kind of found the hole. Nothing Segura could do about it. And you're right. Makes contact, and he's found those holes.
So Shelby with some work to do. 2 on and 1 out. Grant Green last time up belted one up the middle for a 2-run single.
And again, we go back to pitching with runners in scoring position right now. This is where Shelby needs to excel. Pop up, strikeout.
And these are not, let's face it, they're not all-star hitters up there that he's facing. These are guys he should be able to handle.
Make your pitches, try to get a ground ball. If you get the 2 strikes, go for the strikeout.
Missed away with a fastball, and he's behind 1-0. He wants Wellington Castillo to come on out and have a word. Nick Ahmed will join as well. 80 pitches for Shelby Miller, 50 strikes. Now, what's happening when the pitcher specifically requests a mound visit from the catcher?
I think what he wants to do is, instead of being out there and shaking off 2 pitches, you call the catcher out and you say, all right, hey, let's tack this guy. Let's say we're fastballs away, instead of having to shake off location, different pitches. So it kind of gets you in the flow of the game a lot quicker. You don't have to sit there and it seems like forever sometimes to get to the right pitch, the right location. You go right after guys.
Behind on Grant Green.
Yep, get on the same page.
There it is.
You might say, hey, let's throw a fastball in and then let's go away, try to get the ground ball.
Well, that fastball seemed to time up and on the hands, and it's 1-1. Parker at third, Gillespie at first. 1-run Diamondback lead with 1 out in the 6th. Coming inside again here.
Missed his target, but got the foul ball. Now when you get to 2 strikes with guys on first and third, there's 1 out. This is where you try to go for the strikeout. You can get a strikeout.
Parker singled. Went to third on Gillespie's roller into right field. 1-2 on Grant Green.
Well, Bourne doing a little shifting a little farther out towards right center. Took a few steps.
Oh, he painted it corner beautifully at 94. Wellington Castillo set up shop down and away, and Shelby just dotted it. Beautiful. Oh, got some help from Bill Miller too.
Way off the plate away. Nice little frame job by Castillo, and they get the call from Bill Miller.
Might have fooled the plate umpire and the crew chief back there. 5 strikeouts for Shelby, a big out number 2, and now he'll work to the catcher Trevor Brown. Anderson Ford bullpen. The left-hander Andrew Chafin warming up. They've got left-handers all through their lineup up until Grant Green. First 6 in the Giant order, batting from the left-hand side against Shelby Miller. Trevor Brown 0 for 2. 2 on and 2 out.
Now you want to finish the inning out. Great job getting the punch out on Green. Trevor Brown coming up. Put this guy away.
He's flied out twice so far. Ball's behind 1-0.
Johnny Cueto on deck still. 85 pitches he has.
Shelby's missed.
Nobody warming up in the Giant pen, even if you miss and you walk this guy.
Do you buy the theory? I've heard managers tell me this sometimes. We often hear that, well, first base is open. In this case, it's second base. But some managers believe if any base is open, there's a base open. You buy that at all, even though if you pitch around Brown here, you put another run in scoring position?
I'd rather face this guy right here and put him away. He's the number 8 hitter in your lineup. He should be able to handle him.
That's in the radio booth.
A little high up there.
Almost hit J.J. Putz.
But if you fall behind, you don't want to give this guy a cookie. You happen to fall behind, make a good pitcher's pitch. If you miss and you walk him, then you got Johnny Cueto up. And we saw what he's done already.
Two balls and 1 strike. Parker at third, Gillespie at first. High in the air along the right field line. Tomas will give it a look, but it's out of play, and it's 2-2.
See if they're trying to paint him away, just like they did with Green that last strikeout. If you know the umpire's going to give you that pitch 6 inches off the plate, 4 inches off the plate, your time to take a shot at it again.
Andrew Chafin still warming up with the Diamondback bullpen. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Going down and away. Here you go, Candy.
See if you can hit that glove again.
Oh, he blasts it out to right field, and that's a fair ball. Parker scores to tie the ball game. Gillespie being waved home by Roberto Kelly. The throw from Goldie is not in time. It's 5-4 Giants.
Just ouch.
Boy, that was just like Gillespie's triple in the second. It just barely stayed fair.
Took this ball and went with the pitch, hit it right down the right field line, just inside. He missed his target. Castillo wanted that ball outside a little farther, drifted back over the plate and just stuck in the right field corner, and that enabled both base runners to score.
A 2-run double for Trevor Brown.
Boy, pitching with runners in scoring position again, that has really hurt Shelby again.
It was a 2-run single by Grant Green in the 4th with 2 outs. Now a 2-run double by Trevor Brown in the 6th, also with 2 outs. And now the Diamondbacks trail at 5-4. You got left-handers aplenty coming up after Cueto, and Chafin continues to warm up in the bullpen. Cueto was struck out, grounded out, 0 for 2.
Giants in this game 2 for 2 with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. Got to close those innings out.
Well, you don't want Cueto just rolling one through the infield here and bringing Brown home from second. With a pitching line for Shelby Candy's not going to look like much, but he was pretty good tonight.
Threw the ball a lot better again. I haven't seen really too much. I haven't seen the curveball.
0-2.
And you definitely don't want to throw a cookie.
You want to eat a cookie.
He'll eat it though. And enjoy it.
Cookie's bigger than his head. That's what you get at the ballpark. 90 pitches for Shelby, 58 strikes. 0-2 on Johnny Cueto. Rolls it to Goldie, gloves it along the line, and that's the end of the inning. But the Giants get 2. They take a 5-4 lead.
Jimmy John's delivery of the game. Jake Lamb with his 18th home run, a 2-run shot, and he ended the month of June with 9 homers and starts July with another one, a homer in 3 straight games. I was talking to Jake earlier today, guys. Of course, he'd love to go to the All-Star game in San Diego. Right now, Chris Bryant and Nolan Arenado leading in the voting. He's got a close-knit group of friends from Seattle, high school buddies, and of course, they come to watch Jake sometimes road trip. They went to Wrigley this year. They've been texting him about getting everyone together to go to San Diego. He said, look, guys, right now I have my flight booked to Seattle for the break. I'd love to change it, but we'll see.
Yeah, don't jinx that. Jake has struck out and homered. His home run in the 3rd, a solo shot, his 18th of the year.
I don't think he'd have any problem canceling that flight to Seattle.
Well, he's leading the National League in slugging percentage, and he's already slugged 1 home run tonight. 3rd in the major leagues in slugging, Jake Lamb. Everything these days has been an extra base hit.
You could put him right up there with Arenado. You could put him right up there with Chris Bryant. He just doesn't have the name that those guys have made for themselves yet. He will.
Well, those guys have had a number of years on him, and Jake, of course, had the foot injury early last year that really derailed his season, it seemed like, as he spent the rest of the year when he came back trying to play catch up.
And unless you see him day in and day out like we do, you know how valuable he is and how good he is.
He's become a real threat in the cleanup spot, a left-hand bat behind Goldie, but that's one thing that has to change. He strikes out too much.
Tough pitch, looked like a slider down and in.
8 strikeouts for Cueto.
Cueto going for the shutdown inning. This is where you'd like to prevent it. You wouldn't like to have. You don't want to let him have an easy 1, 2, 3 inning.
Well, they could have made Bruce Bochy make a decision in that last half inning, Candy. They could have walked Brown and said, all right, Bruce, you want to keep Cueto in the game, you're going to have him hit here with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Instead, they pitched to Brown, and he had a 2-run double.
Hurt him.
Tuffy Gozawish back with the Diamondbacks today. Zach Greinke still up in the air in terms of when his next start will be. Kind of playing it by ear.
Well, the good news is he's not in the disabled list. I think that's the great news.
He wants to pitch apparently, but I'm not sure everyone's convinced that he should. Gillespie at 3rd. So we'll see what they decide to do. 2 down now for Chris Herman, who's 0 for 2. Chris making his 4th start in the outfield this year, his 1st appearance of the season in left field. And one of the reasons Tuffy Gozawish is here is that Herman is the backup center fielder, and so they're thinking maybe he can play some center field, give Michael Bourne a breather, and that way you'd have Tuffy as your backup catcher or starting catcher. Andrew Chafin still throwing in the bullpen. So don't be surprised if you see Chris Herman starting in center field sometime soon. Having a tough time with Cueto today, however.
Yeah, having a tough time figuring him out.
Struck out his last time up.
Yeah, a couple quick pitches that time. Fastballs away. Pulls off the ball a little bit.
Oh, that one to shortstop. Crawford will backhand it. Herman makes it close, but Crawford gets him a 1-2-3 inning for Cueto. There's your shutdown inning. Diamondbacks trail the Giants 5-4. Trail the Giants 5-4. Greater coverage of baseball brought to you by T-Mobile. A look around the rest of the National League West. Dodgers, who have lost Clayton Kershaw now, and they're not sure when he's going to be back with that bad back. They lead the Rockies at Dodger Stadium 1-0. Padres at Petco Park lead the Yankees 4-1. A whole bunch of changes for the Diamondbacks. We'll start with their Arizona Federal Credit Union pitching change. 31st appearance of the year for Andrew Chafin. So he's out there. Phil Gosselin has taken over at second base for Gene Segura. And Segura has moved to shortstop, replacing Nick Ahmed. So there's a chance that Amanda Ahmed has gone into labor. We don't know that for sure. We're just guessing, but I think she's due tomorrow, actually. She's had a number of false alarm hospital visits, and that has been one concern for Chip Hale. If you have to start Nick Ahmed in a game, you might have to yank him out of there. Now, we don't know that that's happened, but it seems likely given what's happened here by who's out there. Yeah, and especially the time of the game. So, yeah, you know, if that does happen, you know, good luck to Nick. So, fingers crossed for the Ahmed family, Nick and Amanda. Gregor Blanco leads off the Giants 7th against Andrew Chafin. But we should get word from somebody if Nick has had to leave the ball game for that reason. Big inning for right now for Andrew Chafin right now. Top of the order, bringing him in to face the lefties. And you're locked in a really close game right now, and you got to put that 0 up. You got to keep the game right there. Don't let the game get out of hand. One-run game. Off the mound, Segura just moved to shortstop. Sure enough, the first one finds him, and there's that big shortstop arm. Gets the speedy Blanco one away. And Gene loves to show it off, too. Ball was not hit hard. Blanco gets out of there real quickly, comes in and just rifles it across the diamond. Angel Pagan. We did see some of our camera crew that those guys see everything. They never miss anything. Roger Riley did come into the dugout between innings and have a word with Chip Hale. So if anyone knows if Amanda's gone into labor, it's Roger Riley. You're exactly right. Always ask the traveling secretary. So I mean, that's how they get in touch with Nick, through Roger. So we'll do the math on that one as Pagan pops up foul to Goldie. 2 outs. Hey fans, when the Diamondbacks win, you win at Papa John's. The day after every D-backs win, you get 50% off your regular menu price online order at Papa John's. Just enter promo code DBACKS50 at papajohns.com. And the other thing, Candy, is that if Nick does go on the paternity list, that's a 2-3 days here where the Diamondbacks won't have him either. You're right. And one of the good things that the Diamondbacks have, the flexibility in the roster that we talk about quite a bit. You got a great shortstop there in Segura. You can move over. Yeah, you can have Gosselin play second. You can have Drury play there. That's no problem. Belt walked and scored to lead off the 4th. He's 0 for 2. Gosselin was inserted into Nick Ahmed's spot in the order, which is 8th for the Diamondbacks. Segura remains the leadoff man. There's Phil. Sure. Love to finish this inning off right now. Tough hitter. This is the guy you want. First 6 batters in Bruce Bochy's order tonight would bat from the left-hand side. Although Pagan in the 2-hole, the switch hitter, but a whole bunch of lefties there for Chafin. So if he has a quick inning here, Candy, maybe you can get 2 out of him, although you've got the pitcher spot coming up. 2-2. Since the D-backs came into Colorado back on June 23rd, from the 7th inning on, their ERA, I know that's kind of tough to look at their ERA, but it's 11.05. So the last part of the game, the crucial part of the game, they have really struggled. Be nice to see him get 1, 2, 3 inning here and continue. Well, there it is, right on cue. Ask and you shall receive. He strikes out Belt. We stretch at Chase Field. D-backs down 1. I'm Tom Candiani, Jody Jackson along the way. Hey fans, we invite you to participate in Gila River Casino nights, game nights, by signing up at one of the interactive kiosks located right here at Chase Field during any Diamondbacks regular season home game. Gila River game nights have become very popular here at the ballpark. As Manny Tomas leads off the Diamondbacks 7th against Johnny Cueto. Tomas has singled, struck out. First pitch is to shortstop. Crawford has it. 1 pitch, 1 out. Cueto, Candy, since the Lamb home run with 2 outs in the 3rd, has given up only 1 hit. Michael Bourne single in the 5th.
We talked about this. You know, he has first inning struggles, and then once he gets out of that first inning, he really sails. Over a 5 ERA in that first inning.
He's retired 11 of the last 12 he has faced. Phil Gosselin took over at second base. Phil 264 with a homer.
Gosselin always seems to take a good at bat.
Sure does.
Never an easy out. Looks up the middle the other way. Probably his strength hitting that line drive to right field.
Chops that one foul. Phil Gosselin played at the University of Virginia. He was a UVA Wahoo. A 5th round pick out of Charlottesville by the Braves in the 2010 draft. He was a college teammate there of the Giants' Jared Parker. He was a 2nd round pick in that same draft out of UVA. Cueto's 100th pitch of the ball game is in the dirt. It's 2-2.
Had him set up for the cutter, and he didn't like it.
100 pitches, 71s for strikes. Pitcher spot is up next. Peter O'Brien in the on deck circle, and Gosselin has worked at full 3-2.
Another changeup. He just spiked down. Last 2 pitches, not even close. Now, Johnny Cueto's a horse. He's not afraid to get the pitch count up a little bit.
He's a horse, huh?
He is a horse. He can stay out there.
I'm going to remember that you said that. Randall Delgado.
Guys not afraid to go deep in the game.
Up the middle and into center. Deep enough for Graham Greene not to be able to make a play. It gets away from Belton. Gosselin's in at second.
Nice job by Gosselin again. As usual, it seems like. Gets up there and hits this ball up the middle. They can't make the play at first base. He gets into scoring position. Just enough up there. Greene tries to make a play. He has no business throwing the ball. That's, again, a young mistake from an inexperienced infielder. Throws it away instead of eating the ball. Well, that's a break for the D-backs.
Now, Peter O'Brien has been recalled. He was out there in the on-deck circle ready to hit for the pitcher, Andrew Chafin. Instead, it'll be Brandon Drury now that Gosselin, who's the tying run, is at second with 1 out.
Down by a run. You got a guy in scoring position here. Cueto up at 102 pitches.
Well, you have to avoid the strikeout here, right? I think that's why Peter was recalled.
Yep, got to put the ball in play.
Fastball missed in, and Brandon's ahead 1-0. 271, 8 home runs. Connor Strickland, the right-hander, warming up with the Giant bullpen.
Tries to pan him down and in. Nice take. That's a hard pitch to get to.
Brandon in the driver's seat, 2 balls and no strikes. Trying to get that tying run home from second with 1 out.
Nice little gap out in the left center field.
3-0. Segura on deck.
Nice disciplined at bat going so far for Drury. Not going to throw you a strike. Take it. Take the walk.
Both bullpens heating up now. Takes the strike. Doubled up on him. Full count, 3-2.
Doubled up on the cutter that time. That was down. Not a pitch he was looking for. Right now, he just kind of spread out a little bit, looking for to get that base hit. Looking for contact.
Shoots it down the right field line, and he just missed it. Oh, those have been falling in for the Giants all night.
Another cut fastball, third one in succession, and just missed the right field line.
Just by about a foot. Gosselin could have walked home from second on that one. We'll do it again on 3-2. Can't get together with Trevor Brown.
Did you see, it looks to me like Cueto a few times gets frustrated with his catcher. Just when he steps off the mound, just a little head shake.
Well, he's not Buster Posey, but Brown has been back there a fair amount this year. He's not a newbie back there.
I wonder how much he's caught Cueto.
Well, it's his 23rd start behind the plate, Trevor Brown. Three balls, two strikes. Gosselin at second, one out. And he got him.
Changeup, a terrific one, too. Chased it out of the zone.
Arlo's home field advantage as Gene Segura steps up. Last 10 home games, he's been a .400 hitter. He's knocked in 4. He's up in a big RBI spot right now. Segura tonight has doubled, scored a run. He's 1 for 3.
Shake that base hit, try to get this game even.
Parker. Well, Gosselin is stranded at second. It stays 5-4 Giants. Trail the Giants 5-4. Pretty good ball game so far. New pitcher for the Diamondbacks, the right-hander Randall Delgado, his 35th appearance, and ERA right at 3.5. He's done a nice job this year.
Yeah, his guys are only hitting 258 against him. That's outstanding. You know, he's been a savior. He's gone in there. He can give you multiple innings if you need him to.
Well, remember the game just a couple of nights ago where Zach Greinke had to leave after the second inning, and Randall came in, worked 3 innings. Threw almost 50 pitches, and he's out there to face Brandon Crawford to lead off the Giants' 8th. Crawford, Parker, Gillespie due up 4, 5, and 6. Crawford walked and scored in the second. He's 0 for 2.
He has hit 2 balls really hard tonight. Both caught by Michael Bourne.
Yeah, both just lasers right at him.
Randall's going to give you a lot of changeups, breaking balls, changeups. Try to spot his fastball. It's not an overpowering fastball, though. We saw him times in the last couple of years really pop it up there when he made that move from the rotation to the bullpen.
Well, they were not able to get that tying run home from second, so Randall's really got to keep this a 1-run ball game.
Got to keep it right there.
And Crawford's just been killing the ball lately. He's got 9 hits and 10 RBIs in his last 4 games. Homered last night at Oakland. He was 3 for 4. Jared Parker on deck. Connor Gillespie in the hole.
Delgado is really good against very aggressive hitters.
Why is that?
Because he loves his changeup and he keeps it down in the zone. He doesn't throw it for strikes a lot. He gets a lot of swings and misses of guys chasing that pitch. If you have disciplined hitters against him, he struggles because they make him throw strikes, and you know they get themselves into good hitters counts.
Another hard hit ball by Crawford, but once again he hits it right at a Diamondback. A 1-hopper to Goldie for the first out.
Well, he's had 3 hard hit balls. Very easily he could have had 3 doubles right now.
Right fielder, Jared Parker.
Parker singled and scored his last time up, 1 for 3. Struck out twice against Shelby Miller. Parker was called up for the minor leagues for the first time this year on May the 9th, and he was leading the Pacific Coast League with 13 home runs when he was called up from Sacramento. He's got 12 hits in his last 28 at bats for the Giants.
Breaking ball down in the dirt. Seems to me quite a bit also that Delgado usually has problems with the mound.
Corey Gare and the right-hander warming up in the Giant bullpen. Diamondbacks in the home half of the 8th will have Bourne, Goldie, and Lamb 2, 3, and 4. There's a strike, 1-1.
Another changeup. Floats over the plate.
Jared Parker, that's his 5th, and it's a 6-4 ball game.
Fastball, middle away, went with the pitch, and going the opposite field. That ball went a long way.
Well, he's got 5 home runs this year. 4 of them have come against right-hand pitchers.
Off the plate away. Talk about plate coverage going out there. This ball, according to Fox Tracks, is off the plate. And he hits it about 20 rows up.
Well, he's got some power. As we said, he was leading the Coast League in homers when he got the call from Sacramento. And now it's a 6-4 ball game. Connor Gillespie, a home run shy of the cycle himself. RBI triple in the 2nd, doubled and scored in the 4th, singled and scored in the 6th.
Well, you give up a home run, you just got to collect yourself. It was like watching a pitcher after he gives up a home run.
In the air, left center field. Michael Bourne Well, it's not like he just threw him a cookie.
No, it was a good pitch.
Yeah.
A good pitch. You know, the guy put a good swing on him. It happens.
I mean, it wasn't even a strike.
Second baseman, Grant Green.
Grant Green, the second baseman, had a 2-run single in the 4th. In there for the injured Joe Panik, who's on the concussion DL. Boy, this is what the Giants do. You know, no Pagan, no Pence, no Panik, no Duffy. They still find ways to win.
We talked about this a lot. You know, next man up, really.
They're using the backups to the backups, and they're still finding ways to win games. Since May 11th, the Giants have gone 33-13. That's the best record in baseball over that span. And they began tonight 6 up on the Dodgers for the lead in the NL West. Dodgers leading the Rockies right now, 1-0 in LA. They're in the 7th by a diving Goldie, and Grant Green has his second hit tonight.
Going the other way seems to be kind of the theme. He just reaches out and pokes this ball, but pokes it hard right through the right side of the infield.
Trevor Brown, the catcher, a 2-run double in the 6th. That was the backbreaker. Giants now have 10 base hits. They have out-hit the Diamondbacks 10-7. So that makes it 8 consecutive games in which the Diamondbacks have allowed at least 10 hits. The franchise record for that type of thing is 9 straight.
Think of that, 107 hits last 8+ games.
Well, 4 of those games were at Coors Field, so that skews it, as we know, but that's still a lot of hits in any ballpark. That place is a horror show.
Boy, was it ever.
Absolute horror show. And I think, Candy, some of the reasons, or at least one anyway, for the Diamondbacks getting swept here by the Phillies was the Coors Field hangover. That's not all of it, not even close, but it's part of it. It factors in.
It does factor in. Those are long, just grueling games.
They played a 4.5-hour game there, for crying out loud.
Close. Very close.
Green just back safely, says Brian Knight. Did you pitch in that ballpark? Did you pitch in that ballpark?
Yes, I did.
Did it affect you?
Oh yeah. You know, the one thing it affects breaking stuff, because you don't have any kind of snap. Curveballs roll. They don't snap.
But what about afterwards? The altitude and the fatigue factor, the legs.
Well, I think, you know, for a pitcher it's a little bit different. You know, but position players being out there for those long innings all the time, and that's got to have a toll on you. Long games.
Oh.
That's a lot of standing around. That's a lot of chasing balls in the gap.
Well, that's why Chip Hale had his team skip batting practice on the field in that series. Right in front of Roberto Kelly at third. Terry foul pole. Finley's on that one. Our Golden Glover down the left field line. Gary Go-Go Gagne working right field tonight. One and two on the catcher, Trevor Brown. And he struck him out. But Jared Parker hits his 5th home run of the year. Diamondbacks trail it 6-4. Giants 6-4. Arrowhead Honda takes us inside our game diagnostic. The Diamondback box score so far. All the damage being done at the top of the order, Candy.
Top of the order, really getting on. They're scoring the runs. Well, you look at that. They're doing a nice job, though. You look at Goldie and Lamb, your 3-4 hitters, really doing a nice job.
New pitcher for the Giants. You know nothing, Jon Snow. It's Corey Guerin, the right-hander, straight from north of the wall. His 39th appearance at 2.88 ERA. He's done a good job this year. Ruben Tejada, who takes over at third for Connor Gillespie. And he will bat in the 9-hole. Pitcher spot now 6th in the Giant order.
Bruce Bochy trying to get 6 outs here. He might use 4 pitches. 4 pitchers to get 6 outs.
Michael Bourne leads it off. He singled his last time up. Bullpen is still busy for the Giants.
They got a lefty up there, probably getting ready for Lamb.
Guerin's got a funny motion, Candy. Bob Brenly always says it looks like he's leaning against a lamppost as he comes set, kind of like Marlena Dietrich. And then he's got that sort of funky sidearm thing going.
Yeah, it's really whipsy.
Whipsy, I like that.
Gets on top of it, really. As he whips his arm, he gets on top of the ball. It gets that downward spin.
Yeah, just kind of flings it at you. But he's been very good reliever for Bruce Bochy. He's had a good year.
You know, I think when relievers nowadays, especially, when they give you a different look, it's really tough on hitters.
I bet.
That's something you're not normally used to seeing. Different release point, different action on the ball.
Two and two, looking for base runners here.
His ball really has the action of that, almost like of a Ziegler, the way the ball goes down. A lot of movement downward. You can see where this guy could be a ground ball machine.
You don't see a lot of guys start at their chest. That one really hit Michael.
He's trying to shake it off.
We're running out of center fielders here.
This ball going down.
Oh, right on the top of the foot.
And you got to have a guard on.
Oh. Cannot afford to lose another center fielder. Just can't. Ryan DePanfilo going to come out with Chip Hale and have a look.
He is still hurt. He's biting his jersey. He's doing anything right now. That is painful. Bring the freeze out. That's going to get sprayed.
He has done a tremendous job as of late. Last 8 games, 11 hits, 4 doubles and a homer. He's played brilliant defense out there. A 4-hit game against the Phillies Wednesday. And he has held the fort out there in center while they've dropped like flies. No Peralta, no Chris Owings. Go down the list. Right now the catcher is the backup center fielder, Chris Herman, who's getting the start in left field tonight. But Michael's going to finish the at-bat.
Again, center fielders we've gone through: Pollock, Peralta, Brito, Owings.
Yeah. That's how Socrates Brito broke his toe. Played just like that. Right after he got called up, same game in which he had homered at Coors Field.
As a pitcher, you're coming right back in there, down and in with that sinker.
2 and 2. Hits it to third. Tejada's there. They retire Bourne. Hopefully Michael can continue.
And of course he hits it on the ground where he's got to try to run as hard as he can to beat it out.
He's not running well. And I don't blame him. That looked like it hurt a lot. Paul Goldschmidt, an RBI double in the first. He's 1 for 3. Well, look at Ryan DePanfilo just following Michael Bourne around. The shoe is still on. I'm going to take that as a good sign.
Keep the swelling down.
Well, Garrett's almost like he's you ever flip stones on a lake or a river? He kind of has that same motion with the baseball. Like you're trying to skim rocks across the pond.
Trying to find that flat rock.
Yeah.
I said it's something that you're not normally used to seeing.
And look where he starts. He comes set right there at his chest. So his hand is already at that level. Then he just kind of wings it in there. 2-1.
Hitters are always trying to pick up your release point. And this is a low release point, and he gets sink on it. Really good shot, him keeping his head down on it, but still couldn't make contact. A little bit of a frisbee, kind of a mini frisbee for a slider. He keeps it down. He's keeping everything down.
Two and two to Goldie. Hits it hard to second base, but right at Green.
Goldie really hit that ball well. That would look like the slider again. A little bit on the inside part. He stays inside this ball. He's not going to roll over the top. He tries to shoot it the other way. Just happened to be right at Green.
The left-hander Josh Osich is warming up and is ready. In fact, Jake Lamb steps up.
I think if there was a guy on base, you'd see Osich right now.
Lamb, a solo homer in the third, his 18th of the year. Leading the National League in slugging. And he takes ball one.
Jake is a good low ball hitter. Oh, Michael Bourne still feeling it.
Yeah. Jake in his last 14 games, counting tonight, has 6 home runs and 16 RBIs. Says he's just swinging at the pitches he wants to swing at, making hard contact. He's ahead 2-0. Fouls that one off.
He's not real happy, but he's moving.
Well, A.J. Pollock, I'm told, threw a tennis ball today, or started to. David Peralta has been taking some swings, although he may not be back from that back injury before the All-Star break. We'll see. Here's David. A little thin on center fielders right now. 3-1 on Jake Lamb.
Fastball, that one was a little bit up in the zone. Swung right through his. AJ, look at him go.
This is
still
today.
run.
Yeah, AJ Pollock. No AJ, no David Peralta, no Socrates Brito. All on the DL. Chris Owings on the DL. That's 4 center fielders, or 4 guys who could play out there on the disabled list. 3-2 to Lamb. Oh, he dropped it in there. Backdoored him. And Guerin works a 1-2-3-8. We go to the 9th inning at 6-4 Giants. At Chase Field. What's next? Brought to you by CenturyLink. Game 2 of this 3-game set against the Giants tomorrow night. A little later than normal, fans. A 7:10 first pitch. The Shark. It is Shark Week after all. Jeff Samardzija will take them out for the Giants, and Patrick Corbin for the Diamondbacks. Diamondback Live pregame show at 6:30 on Fox Sports Arizona. Gambo will be the pre and post game host, or guest, or VIP in his case. Here's Patrick Corbin. Here's Jeff Samardzija.
Shark.
Third baseman Ruben Tejada.
Ruben Tejada, the former Met and Cardinal, will lead off the ninth against Randall Delgado. Picked up by the Giants in the middle of June, about 2 weeks after he was let go by St. Louis, and just called up from AAA Sacramento Wednesday. Tell you what, something going on, Candy, between these two teams. It's a very weird dynamic. The D-backs and Giants have each swept a 4-game road series from the other. First time that's happened between any two baseball teams since 1979, and we're not even at the All-Star break yet. And once again, the road team is winning. 0-2 on Tejada.
Go figure that.
Santiago Casilla, the closer, warming up for the Giants. D-backs are 3-12 in their last 15 games against the Giants here at Chase Field.
Those are not healthy numbers.
It's tough to win like that, that's for sure.
D-backs again, just that struggle at home. Hate to keep beating a dead horse like that, but those struggles at home, those are tough.
I guess winning on the road in this series, or winning at home in this series, is just a horse of a different color. 0-2.
Well, when you look at this game and you start breaking it down, you know, it's situational baseball. It really is. And it comes down to that. It comes down to making the pitches with runners in scoring position. It's about getting the key hit with runners in scoring position. I mean, that's baseball. And the teams that do that best win.
Bill Gosselin at second. Gregor Blanco, the leadoff man. 2 for 4, a pair of singles. Bernard Span was in the original starting lineup. He was a late scratch just before the ball game with the neck tightness. It was his right neck that was hurting him. His left neck appears fine. I'm not sure why he has 2 necks, but all we do is pass the information along. It was the right neck. It appears by that photo to have only 1 neck.
I don't even know how to respond to that.
Of course, Walt Williams had no necks. He didn't offer, says Todd Tishner. Boy, Blanco's had a nice run with the Giants. Got a couple of World Series rings. Been there 4 years.
He's hit it at the right time, hasn't he?
Yeah, really valuable guy for them. This is popped up shallow right center. Who wants it? It'll be Segura from shortstop.
Gene had a nice angle on this ball. It's a pop up. I'm not sure if it was going to get caught. He had a good angle on this ball. Came over, made the call, caught the ball.
Two down now for Angel Pagan, who's 0 for 4. Again, Todd Tishner says no. Brandon Belt would be next. D-backs in the 9th against Casilla will have Castillo, Herman, Tomas, 5, 6, and 7. That's in there first round, 1-1.
Not too often you see when you're playing the Giants, see Pagan taking 0 for 4.
Yeah.
This guy has really hurt the Diamondbacks throughout the years.
Another fastball. Well, he's not happy with the Bill Miller strike zone.
Thought that ball was inside. He doubled up on a fastball. It's a nice pitch by Delgado. Inside.
Well, he might have a point on both the strikes.
Yep. Zone get a little wide for him.
I mean, there's not much he can do with those pitches anyway. And when they get called strikes, you can see why he might get upset.
I mean, he's not a guy that really looks in there. He's trying to hit the ball up the middle the other way. Once in a while, throw him an off-speed pitch, he'll run into it. But guys that all of a sudden they're going to eliminate pitches and maybe I'm going to sit on an inside fastball. Those are the guys that can hit that pitch. Even that one, a little bit inside, a little bit up. He has trouble bringing his hands in like that. He wants to hit the ball the other way. That's a good pitch. Just keep that fastball in hard on his hands.
Well, based on Bill Miller's calls, you're going to force him to swing at it as well.
Yeah.
Because he knows now he can't take that pitch. Called strike 3. There it is. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th. Diamondbacks trail the Giants 6-4. Game summary. Diamondbacks trail at 6-4 as we start the home half of the 9th. Wellington Castillo a 2-run homer. Jake Lamb a solo shot. Jake's 18th of the year. He's homered in 3 consecutive games now. They've been out hit 10-7. They trail at 6-4. And here's the closer, Santiago Casilla, 17 for 21 in save opportunities. His 4 blown saves. Tied for second most in the National League.
Got their work cut out for you. Got to get a guy on base now, down by 2 runs.
Wellington Castillo's 2-run home run in the first. His only hit tonight, he's 1 for 3. Chris Herman on deck. Yasmani Tomas after that. Chaz Roberts, air conditioning, cool play of the game. Beef Wellington, a 2-out, 2-run homer in the first, made it 3-0. D-backs put up a 3-spot in the first inning against Johnny Cueto.
You don't get too many opportunities like that. You could make that hold up.
Base hit for Castillo. A good start in the Diamondback ninth. They'll get the tying run to the plate against Casilla.
Very hard hit ball that time by Castillo. Flying shot to center. It's good to see his bat start to come around. Timed this ball perfectly. Just a shot.
He's hit safely now in 4 of his last 5 games. That'll bring up Chris Herman, who's 0 for 3. The start tonight in left field for Chris.
Chris has had some big moments.
Well, this is another spot. Tying run at the plate, nobody out. Herman since May 1st hitting .330 with 20 RBIs in 33 games. Out of play.
Boy, he had a good pitch to hit too.
Tomas on deck. He singled in the second. Gosselin after that.
Now we've seen Herman pull the ball. We've seen him squirt some balls. He had a nice little hole down the third baseline.
Tejada well off the line at third. That's where they set up. And he looks at strike 2. Boy, Herman did not like that call.
That one had a little bit of the fox tracks anyway. Slider.
Close enough. Base hit. He blasted it by Belt, and look at Wellington Castillo hustle into third.
Now you're in business.
Oh, he smoked that one, Candy.
Hooked it. Looked like a breaking ball, and he just hooked this ball. Nothing Belt could do about it. Castillo getting over to third base. Belt, even though he's a left-handed first baseman, that glove side still couldn't get it to the ball.
I've never seen Beef move that fast. Diamondbacks only have 1 walk-off win all year long. That came on a Yasmani Tomas single against the Cubs in the second series of the year. He's 1 for 3 tonight, a single in the second.
Look at that last series the Giants had here. Remember Bochy and Castillo had some they had some words out there.
He did not want to come out of the game. Ball 1. This was Yasmani Tomas walk off to beat the Cubs against Trevor Cahill April 8th. He's the winning run at the plate, nobody out. Yasmani has homered 6 times in his last 12 games.
Not a bad pass to the ball either. Tried to hit this ball the other way. He's got a nice hole in the right side of the infield.
Belt holding Herman on the bag at first. The 1-1 to Tomas. He bounces it right to Belt. They get 1 and they get 2. Castillo stays put at third.
Well, Castillo's run doesn't mean a whole lot there. He just didn't want the double play. Belt catches this ball, actually almost freezes Castillo at third, but a quick throw, quick transfer, and they got back to the bag and got him.
Very well executed by
Second baseman.
the veteran Giant infield. So it's up to Phil Gosselin to keep this thing going. If he can get aboard, Peter O'Brien would then hit for the pitcher Delgado.
Yeah, give him a shot at it. Just trying to keep this inning going.
Phil singled in the 7th. Casilla, his last outing came in the Bay Bridge Bayou battle against the A's. He had a rough inning, gave up 3 runs on 3 hits. Behind on Gosselin, 2 balls and no strikes. Blown 4 saves this year. Just trying to keep this thing going. Bring Peter O'Brien to the plate as the winning run. Three and 0.
Walks as good as a hit right now.
You better believe it.
Got to be taking a strike here, maybe even 2.
.95 is in there. 3 and 1. Casilla thinking here, there's no way I can let O'Brien hit as the winning run. That he's got to throw Gosselin something right here.
He's got to keep the ball away from Gosselin. Try to hit him, get him to roll over the top of one.
He walked him. Gosselin aboard for the 2nd time, and that'll bring O'Brien up with 2 outs as the winning run.
Great AB by Gosselin. Not being over anxious.
Yeah. So Righetti will talk it over with his closer as Peter O'Brien steps in.
This is just that refresher course. When a pitch hitter comes up, Mike Buster does it all the time. Come out and just kind of refresh the catcher and the pitcher, how you want to attack Peter O'Brien.
Well, Peter O'Brien has a chance for his moment. Down 2, 2 on and 2 out, bottom 9, 130 on the year with 4 homers.
One swing of the bat gives the D-backs a victory.
Castillo at 3rd, Gosselin at 1st. Phil is the tying run, Peter is the winning run.
Outfield playing deep, playing no doubles.
Yeah, they're backed up against the warning track out there, all 3 outfielders. Swing and a miss at a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, and it's 0-1.
That might be the only fastball he gets. Big breaking ball down and away off the plate.
He just has not been able to lay off that pitch.
Just can't do it.
No.
This is where you're hoping that Casilla makes a mistake.
Fingers crossed. Missed at 96. 1 and 2. O'Brien with 7 hits this year. 4 of them are home runs. A ball and 2 strikes. There goes Gosselin. Called strike 3. The game is over. And the Giants win it 6-4.
Throws him on a breaking ball. Peter didn't like the call. Where this pitch is, he's got to reach all the way back. It's an inside curveball. Never had a chance at catching the inside corner at all.
It was a good take by Peter. He did the right thing there, but he got burned by the plate umpire, Bill Miller. And the Diamondbacks drop the opener of this 3-game series against the Giants. 6-4 is the final score. They have now lost, Candy, 6 in a row.
And that hurts again. You get swept by the Phillies and now lose the game to the Giants. This is the team you're trying to catch right now. And I just really thought that they would have put a little better performance. It hurt them, Shelby Miller, not being able, to make the big pitches and the big situations there. And he got burned. Well, the 2 leadoff walks issued by Shelby Miller, Crawford in the second and Belt in the fourth, both scored. The Giants have 4 2-out RBIs. They win at 6-4 as the Diamondbacks drop to 3-13 in their last 16 against the Giants at Chase Field. Diamondbacks live post-game show is next. Here's Todd Walsh. Todd.
Steve, thank you very much. This will be a very difficult pill to swallow for the Arizona Diamondbacks and a tough one for us to digest. But that's what we will do. Diamondbacks Live, presented by CenturyLink, is right around the corner. We'll go up to the broadcast booth. Tom Candiotti will check in, and I really want to talk about what he just mentioned. Shelby Miller not getting the big pitches in big situations in the 4th and again in the 6th. We'll also talk about how the Diamondbacks did get to Johnny Cueto early, as Tom suggested they had to do, and they did, but they let that lead dissipate. Jody Jackson will be here at field level. We'll go to the Giants side and into the Arizona Diamondbacks clubhouse, as we always do. When we come back, Diamondbacks Live here from Chase Field in just a bit.